Hey YouTube, welcome back to another one of my videos. If you're new here, howdy, welcome, and if you're returning back, welcome on back. I know that I didn't post last week, but it was Easter and family stuff, so but I'm back now. I'm back. Ralph Paul Yarl, just a beautiful 16-year-old boy, was released from the hospital Saturday after he was shot around 10 p.m. on Thursday. Why was he shot, you may ask? Well, the teenage boy parked in an 84-year-old man's house's driveway to pick up his siblings, and it was just all a miscommunication. He misunderstood the address that he was given, and therefore he was shot. The address that it was reported that he was supposed to be picking up his siblings from was NE 115 Terrace, but accidentally and sadly he went to the house on NE 115 Street in the city of Kansas City, Missouri. The 84-year-old man that I brought up earlier is a white male named Adam Lester, who is also the homeowner. So they've come around to say that this 84-year-old man will be facing 2 felony charges for shooting this little boy. And that was announced directly from Clay County Attorney Zachary Thompson. Mr. Zachary also went on to say, I can tell that this was a racial thing, but then turn around and say that there is no identification or any proof that Ralph and Mr. Lester, the 84-year-old male, and the 16-year-old boy have talked to each other before the Thursday event of the shooting. But how would it matter if Ralph had met the 84-year-old shooter before Thursday? I mean, Ralph has always been black his whole life. He woke up black on Wednesday, went to bed on black on Wednesday night. He took a black. He was even born black. So why would it matter if he met Lester before Thursday? And I'm pretty sure if they are trying to hint at if Ralph had shook him up a little bit, maybe that was a problem. But in the article itself, it says that it was a misconstruction of the addresses that he was given. What happened before that doesn't even matter. He shot a little boy through a closed glass door. Speaking and even being on the property was enough for Lester to shoot at Ralph, and he didn't even do anything. He just knocked on the door and said, I'm here for my siblings. And Lester said, I don't want you on my property, or somewhere along those lines, and opened fired on the 16-year-old boy. Again, once through that glass door I was telling you about, and then the second right at his head to confirm that the little boy was dead. But by the grace of God or a miracle, whatever you believe in, Ralph is now recovering and he has survived. It was reported that after the shooting, he walked, bless his heart, to one of the next door neighbors. She did not want to disclose her information or her name or anything like that, but she said that while she was she immediately called 911 to let them know, like, hey, somebody is shot outside, it's a little boy. But the 911 people were telling her to stay inside, be careful, because they don't know where the shooter is, and she didn't have information to give to them to feel safe outside of that. But however, eventually she did venture out of the home to help the little boy, helping put pressure on the wounds and make sure that he was okay until the ambulance came. That's what I read in the report. But she was against it. She had sense, common sense, like majority of you, my followers have, my subscribers. And she was basically saying that she had to wipe his blood off of her door, off of his her rails, her sidewalk, all of her stuff. And she was like, it was the blood of somebody's child. And she's a mom, and that hurt her. I mean, even if she wasn't a mother, even if she didn't, it's somebody. It's somebody. Like, anyways, it's pissing me off all over again. However, Lester was only held for a few hours after being detained because the police said that it needed to be investigated more. I mean, his glass door has bullet holes through it, and I'm pretty sure his porch, sidewalk, concrete street all has blood on it. If the woman we just talked about had to clean off her porch and her rails and all of that stuff so drastically, you know what I mean? And that's enough evidence to keep him at least for a little bit longer.
Of Kansas City, Missouri, where the county prosecutor has charged an 85-year-old white man for shooting a black teenager twice, including once in the head. Police say the teen went to the wrong address to pick up his younger brothers. He rang the doorbell, and moments later, multiple shots were fired. CBS's Roxana Saberi is outside the police station with these new details.
Do you think if he was a white 16-year-old boy and he rang that door, do you think it would have been the same outcome?
Ralph Yarl's family says the 16-year-old was gunned down after mixing up the address. He was supposed to go to Northeast 115th Terrace, but instead rang a doorbell on Northeast 115th Street, just 1 block away. The Yarl family's attorney says Ralph waited for a few minutes after ringing the bell before the door opened.
He was immediately confronted with an armed man who told him that he did not want to see him on his property again, and then he opened fire.
Still, Yarl's aunt, Faith Spoonmore, says the teen ran for help, knocking on 3 more doors before a neighbor called 911.
As his aunt, what do you think about that?
Hearing that part of the story is even harder. He was clearly bleeding. He was clearly needing help.
Ralph is now recovering at home. Late this afternoon, the Clay County prosecutor announced 2 felony charges against 85-year-old Andrew Lester.
A warrant was issued for Mr. Lester's arrest. I can tell you there was a racial component to the case.
Kansas City's mayor agreed.
Something like this happening is unimaginable and it's unbelievable. And it's hard to expect that something like this would happen if Ralph weren't black.
The shooting sparked protests here on Sunday.
We just want justice. Ralph is a good kid. He doesn't deserve what's happening to him.
But enough of the negative energy. Let's spread some beautiful light on Ralph's amazing soul, his accomplishments, his dreams, his goals. Let's talk about it. And I'm going to be looking down because I'll be reading what I found that this kid is he's just amazing. Just look at this. Well, listen. He has received a recruitment letter from Yale's undergraduate admissions office, an invitation to participate in a 15-day performance tour of Europe with other Missouri student musicians, and an honorable mention by the Missouri All-State Band for his bass clarinet ability. That is amazing. You are being presented with a choice: evolve or remain. If you choose to remain unchanged, you will be presented with the same challenges, the same routine, the same storms, the same situations, until you learn from them. Until you love yourself enough to say no more. Until you change. If you choose to evolve, you will connect with the strength within you. You will explore what lies outside of the comfort zone. You will awaken love. You will become. You will be. You have everything you absolutely need. Choose to evolve. Choose love. And that's in any situation that you can think about. All he needed to know was that he was at the wrong house. Never forget who loves you the most. It is I. I love you. I love you. I love you. Love yourself and love others. Until next time, guys. See you in another video.